Hey everybody, today on All In, we're going to talk with an industry that frankly we don't get to talk to that much. And I'm interested on so many levels, not the least of which is how the heck they keep doing what they're doing with everything going on in the world today. Well, nobody's going to know better than our guest today because we'll get into this, but she is now the head honcho for the company as well. Ann Sebert, correct? Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Great to see you. So I want to back up. Before you got to where you are now, tell me what you were doing in this industry prior to coming on board. You got a lot of experience here.
Well, after I graduated college, I started with Arco Oil and Gas in the accounting department and moved into the crude oil trading realm of things. Then I was home for a few years, raising kids, and decided I needed to go back into corporate America. I accepted a position as the assistant to the CFO with CAPIS.
Assistant to the CFO, okay. Time frame, when would this have been?
2002.
Gotcha, okay.
And proceeded to just put my head down, work hard, and work my way up.
Different opportunities came along, and here we are today in 2020. What's your position now?
CEO.
That is so unbelievable that you started as the assistant to the position that you're at now.
Actually, assistant to the CFO.
Correct. Yes. You became CFO, but you didn't stop.
No, then I
just
became
kept going.
CEO.
Well, congratulations to you. I mean, that in itself is a really, really impressive story. And it just says so much about you and, frankly, for the company as well, to realize, you always hear companies talk about the importance from promoting within. You're living it.
Yes,
and it bodes well for everybody else in the company because you understand what that's meant to you, and it could be the right opportunity for the right people. They too may get to continue on a similar track.
Yeah, and it's a big thing at CAPIS. It's not uncommon to find people with 20 plus years of experience. We're very family oriented, and it's just a great place to be.
Well, let's get into the nitty gritty because a lot of people don't even know exactly what CAPIS does.
Okay.
So talk about the industry itself, what you're up to now. We're not in the oil biz anymore.
Nope, no more. So CAPIS was founded in 1977 by Don Potts. We were born out of the deregulation of commissions in the 1970s. Don's vision was to break the traditional bundled research model. So CAPIS pioneered the independent research model, which helped our clients navigate the regulations. We've had a lot of challenges to our business through the years from the regulators, but it's always held up as a very transparent practice which benefits the investors.
Like any industry, I'd have to think that there's others that do similar stuff to you, but what do you think, now as the head honcho, what do you think differentiates you from the others?
It's that quality execution, and we treat every trade as if it's our own. We're unconflicted and an agency model, so we're not competing with our clients.
Very, very, very important because others, like I said, I don't know a lot about this industry, but I am familiar with what you just said about how people, wait a minute, I thought you worked for me and now you're competing against me, and it gets confusing.
Right,
at times.
right.
So you realize the importance, don't do that.
Yeah, and we understand, the value of our client relationships, and many of them span decades, in addition to the value of our employees.
Well, and you already mentioned you have more than a few employees that have been with the company for 20 years, maybe more.
Right.
Even with everything we're going through now, I mean, it's impacted everybody, but I'm guessing you're not all sitting in the same office anymore doing the same thing and going down the hall and talking to each other to figure out stuff.
No, and we've been so fortunate because, we have so many people that have so many years of experience, and the relationships are strong, and everybody was able to transition home very quickly. I mean, less than a week, and we were able to protect the traders to make sure that they had the space they needed to be safe. And we've done a great job of it. So
transitioning home, with a lot of people working at home, working with computers and whatnot, security is such a big deal. Did you have to go ahead and supplement infrastructure and whatnot if people were working out of their homes all of a sudden to make sure everything's cool?
Yeah, definitely. The first thing we did was, with the traders, we sent half of the desk home, and we broke down our business continuity site and sent them home. And then we backed up, and a lot of people were using through the internet, like Go to My PC, but we sent home laptops with everybody now. So it'll be a different world when we go back.
It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a hybrid world at best.
Exactly.
As we get back into it. And I don't know about your company in particular, but a lot of companies will come to the realization that, you know, we really don't need this much office space anymore.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
we could downsize a little bit. Just give me a conference room, and of course we need an office for you. But the point being, it's working. It's working that people are able to work at home.
Yeah, and it's great, and I think that it's been good for a lot of people. I think it's hard if you have little children that are home, but again, we've been lucky to be flexible enough with people that we haven't lost a single employee.
Outstanding.
That nobody has felt like they've just got to take some time out. And
you know, you're talking, Ann, about how it's difficult if you have small children at home. It's difficult if you have school-age children at home because you might be having school in the living room.
Yeah, I just can't imagine.
I couldn't fathom that myself. You know, the other neat thing that I really enjoyed when I was looking at the notes prior to you coming on board today is the philanthropic activity with your company. I mean, you guys get it. You know, you give back. Talk about that a little bit. First of all, who do you try to help benefit, and why do you do it?
So in 2019, we kicked off a charity initiative, and specifically in Dallas, it's the Young Women's Preparatory Network that we've been supporting through the spring. We actually had an intern who was working from home with us. We volunteered with them. They provide support for single-gender public education for young women, and it's a phenomenal organization. We've also been supporting Return the Salute, which is an organization that advocates for arm and hand transplants for veterans and connects them with the resources they need. And likewise, then Dallas Services, which is a low vision clinic for low-income children and adults.
It's outstanding that you're able to do that because there's so many, you know, we were talking about COVID earlier, and there's so many nonprofits that have just been frankly devastated during this time. But for you guys to continue to support these, and there's probably others on the horizon we don't need to get into now, but the fact that you've had your own issues as a company, like we all have, the whole world has, but you've never stopped looking at the importance of giving back to others, and that too speaks volumes for what you guys do as a company.
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
Well, you're very fortunate, they're very fortunate as well. So we've already talked about your background and where you are now. Where do you see we going in the future? Put everything to the side as far as the way the business structure itself is going to be, where the employees are and whatnot, just industry-wide. I mean, is it impacted? I mean, I can't imagine all the factors across the world that impact what you guys do.
Yeah, so we've seen a big move toward outsourced trading desks, and we've put that as one of our priorities for 2021. And, you know, to continue just where we are. We're compliance-driven, treat every trade as if it's our own trade, you know, provide unbiased execution.
And you don't compete with your own clients.
And don't compete with our clients.
Well, we've talked to other people with other industries that kind of spun off when deregulation hit their industry. And you were there. You were there, not here, but you were in the industry.
Yes.
And the rocky road that entails. But once you get through it, and you're able to grow and realize that there's going to be changes coming right and left all the time, and you're able to adapt as quickly as you have, it just works. And it certainly doesn't hurt anything in the fact that you're able to maintain a great core group of very valuable employees, and that you realize their value as well.
Yeah.
So kudos for all that stuff, and congrats again. When did you officially become the CEO?
January of 2020.
January 2020. Well, one of the few good things of 2020
yes.
in your life and in the life of the company as well. Yeah. Got about 30 seconds left. Anything else we need to know about you or what's going on with the company?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
I think we covered it well too. You did a wonderful job, and the philanthropic. We're real big on nonprofits here, by the way. I mean, we're here to help companies and individuals share their stories. But any time that those stories, whether it's a personal story or a corporate story, involves philanthropy, it's just an extra bonus. So thanks for sharing that. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hey, folks, thanks for being with us today. We want to thank Ann again for coming in, telling her story. Hope you enjoyed that. We certainly did. But hey, don't go anywhere because we're not done yet. We're going to be right back with a little bit more All In. Take care.